Welcome. Tim Bart's here, Lawn MacArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. We are live with you here on a beautiful Tuesday evening here in Salina, Kansas. And I just remembered that I forgot to close my shade over here. So if that starts coming down, I may have to take just a little bit of break to go and shut the shade because my person did not forgot to do that. But we are going to get us started here. First, welcome in all of our subscribers, all of our members. So you can see those members there with the colored names, with the colored logos as well. So we do have our moderator Ridgeview there that is in green. He has been with us for 1 year now, and you can see some of you have been in here a little bit longer. So just thanks, Eric, for subscribing to the channel. So we do have a new subscriber. So go ahead and do that. Don't forget also, we are going to be recording this as a audio podcast as well. You can find it on your favorite podcasting, applications out there, all kinds of places. We do host it on Podbean, but you can find it on Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Music, about any of those. There's 15 listed there on our screen if you're watching the YouTube video. So it's all right there. Now, if you're listening to this, then you can check this out over on our YouTube channel later and watch the recorded version if you want to kind of see any of the visuals. We got a couple today, not a lot. I'll pull my screen up a couple times, but other than that, you'll be able to follow along if you're just listening to the podcast. So definitely check that out. And of course, if you are new, hit that third subscribe button to be subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell because you need to stay notified when we go live. We're going to talk now about all the different videos that went live this week. So before we do that, let me show you too. If you are out there and you see the members in there, or maybe you want to become a member, you've watched several weeks in a row, membership is not required whatsoever. It's just a way for me to connect for those that want to learn a little bit more about the dealership, about us, about me, that kind of thing, and get a little bit connected and get some extra content out there. Maybe if you see some of these, you see the live stream or maybe some of the other videos and say, what else are they doing? So we do at least a weekly video. So there's a bunch of other perks, but to find that, you can go and just click on this screen here. You can see, so click on our YouTube channel or any of our videos as well. There should be right beside that subscribe button. It's a join button. Click on that. It gives you information about the different membership perks that you get by being a member with us here on the YouTube channel. And so you can check that out. Now, if you're not seeing that button, then you're probably watching this on an iPhone or an iPad. And in that case, here's kind of how you would want to do that. So you're not able to see that. You go to Safari or Google Chrome, whatever you have on your iPhone, iPad, and then you go in and go ahead and put in our YouTube channel, find our YouTube channel or any of them or whatever, and then click up there in the left-hand corner to the big A and little a, and go down and click Request Desktop Website. Once you get the desktop version, then that button will pop up for you and you'll be able to see that. So there you go. There's kind of an example of what that looks like if you're struggling with that. So we've put that in there because we've had some people on iPhones and tablets struggle with that. Now, going to talk about the reason why you want to be subscribed to the channel. Here are the recent videos just in the last week that have gone live on our YouTube channel that people have been notified if they are subscribed to our channel. So I don't even remember what days these are done because I record them some days. Sometimes they're edited and they're released in another day. But what's changed for the 2023 Ford Ranger? That order guide came out last week. We talked about it last Tuesday. So that video on what was new came out last week. The 2023 F-150 Lariat complete guide video that goes over all the complete guides is what I really enjoy doing because it goes over all of that, the standard equipment, different packages and such like that. That video went live on the F-150 Lariat. Even though the order guide's been out for a couple weeks, finally got to it. Welcome, William. Welcome to the Lawn MacArthur crew. Don't forget to make sure you check out the member video that Sarah put together for you so that you can take advantage of all the benefits of being a member. Okay, also this last week we had what's changed on the 2023 Bronco Sport, which since those order banks are live now. We also did our complete guide videos on the 23 Bronco Sport base. The Big Ben, which actually go live tomorrow, the Outer Banks, I actually recorded those day after each other, and I had the content, so I actually edited one on Sunday, and I edited the Outer Banks, so it went live yesterday, and the Big Ben will go live tomorrow. Sarah finished that one up this morning. And then we also, I think yesterday, had the 23 Bronco ordering information, which we're going to talk about here if you didn't get a chance to watch that video. Also, the F-150 Lightning order bank opening video that I did this afternoon. we'll talk about that as well, because there's some things in here that I didn't check the memo that went out to dealers today. I just used information that I gathered from our zone rep from last Friday, and that's what I shared in that video. But there's a little more information that I'm going to share today as well. All the links to all those videos are down in the description under the recent videos. Now this week coming up, well, of course I mentioned Big Ben tomorrow. We'll also, what's new on the F-150 Lightning, we'll do a video on that as a separate video, even though we're going to cover that in here in just a little bit. Also the Bronco Sport Badlands, to complete out the complete guide videos for that, as well as more of our complete guide videos that we have order bank. So I still need to do all the Ranger, XL, XLT Lariat, as well as we'll get through the Lightning ones as well. For those that I like to refresh that, even if there's nothing new. I like having that 23 content out there. Just helps people out if they're looking for videos and they see 22 but they're interested in 23, they won't click on that video. So I have to update those each year. So I'll be going through and doing a video on those as well. And with those, I'm actually going to be able to use the build and price off of Ford's website because it's live already. So we'll talk more into why I think that should be a thing on every vehicle, but it's not. So, and then just moving on, some other links you want to be aware of down in the description. We'll be live Thursday on Facebook. So link for that event and that video is down in the description as well. And then don't forget this week, it's this Saturday, the Maverick Meetup. First annual Maverick Meetup at Lakewood Park is this week. So some people have let us know they're coming, and this is going to be a fun event. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there 11 a.m. We'll have food trucks and such. I think starting at 11:30 to 1:30, and so we'll have a lot of stuff going on. I'll be there as long as you guys are out there chatting with me and such, and we'll have a lot of fun. Check out your Mavericks, and I'll walk around, check out your Mavericks as well. So. All right, Blanca, thank you for becoming a Law MacArthur member. So appreciate that. And so more members. So it's always fun. I think we're up to like 160 members, I think Sarah told me. So anyway, so yeah, that's going well. So, okay. And now also, don't forget, I always like to leave the link to Johnny Car Care and Review. His YouTube channel is in the description, so make sure you check out his if you haven't before. You need to check it out. Real similar style to what I do. He wants to make sure the content gets out there. The real true information is out there. So a lot of like his Don't Be Fooled and such is out there. So definitely check out his YouTube channel. So it'll always be in the description for us because I'm a big promoter of their channel. I think it's the only channel that I'm subscribed to is any other car automotive site. So check out his channel. Now let's get into the good news moment. So actually I hadn't found one yet. So if you have some, like you've taken delivery of your vehicle or had some good experiences with a dealership, we want to know what those good dealers are out there. So send me that information. You can see the email addresses down there. So send those under the questions to FordVideoGuy@gmail.com, and so I can get that. Oh, Mike, thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. 3 days. If all goes well, see you soon. Yes, I can't wait to see you guys here. So, so this one here's one that I actually found on our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called All Things Maverick by Law MacArthur. That is our Facebook group. And so this person put this in here, and he purchased this vehicle and took delivery at a dealership in Illinois. So it says, best car salesman that one could ask for. Andrew got me every discount available, $2,500 under sticker price. I had to wait almost a year. Love my truck. Affenberg Ford North in O'Fallon, Illinois. So great job there to Andrew. So if you're in that area, you're looking for a good Ford dealer, sounds like that's the dealer for you. So definitely good to have finding out what those good Ford dealers are. So send those in to us if you've had a good experience with a Ford dealer. We want to get these, and I'll even do 1 or 2 a week. We got to get this information out to people. Got to let them know where the good dealers are around the country there. So scheduling information for this week. A couple models here, and let's see if hopefully my screen is working here. There we go. So let me move over here to our webdo. So let's look at what we have for allocations. So what is scheduling this week? So Bronco is scheduling this week for the weeks of 9/5 to 9/12. As you can see, we do not have any Bronco. All of ours were already scheduled. This is the last week for July allocations. I know it's August 9th, but Ford this is still considered their allocations for this model year. So Bronco 9/5 I'm sorry, for this month, sorry, 9/5 to 9/12. And it's also just a reminder, 22 final orders and changes to orders are due by 8/25. Had to turn down my phone there. Okay, and then Bronco Sport, as you can see, we are used all of our allocations, all 18 already for July allocations. We'll get August coming up here soon. Bronco Sport is scheduling for the weeks of 9/5 to 10/17. And also a reminder for dealers, the 22 final orders are due by 9/1. And so we mentioned that because you can get, I'm bringing this off here, you can go ahead and order stock allocations or stock orders in there for dealers. So if, like especially on Bronco Sport, all of our retails got scheduled, and we still were getting allocations based on how many we sell. So like last month we had 18 allocations for Bronco Sport because we sell a lot of Bronco Sports. And so because of that, we get all of our retails scheduled in. We still get more allocations, then we can put in some stock allocations as well. So we get some of those. So Edge is not scheduling this week. Escape is not scheduling this week. Expedition is scheduling this week. We do not have any more allocations left. We used ours already in the first couple of weeks of July's scheduling, but they are scheduling for the weeks of 9/12 and 9/26 if your dealer has allocations. Explorer is not scheduling this week. F-150 is scheduling for the weeks of 10/10 to 10/24. Final 22 orders and changes are due by 8/11. So that's coming up in just a couple days here. So if you have any, if dealers need to put in some stock allocations for 22, they need to finish that up and wrap that up. They're able to do that. So we have 15 allocations for F-150. So we do have, I noticed earlier, we had 15 previewing. So that means these are the orders that are looking to be scheduled. So I think actually, actually it was 15 earlier. Now it's only 7 for some reason. Weird. Not sure. Oh, I think we had some stock ones in there, but it looks like they kicked out all of our stock ones, and so we're just seeing the retail ones in there. So there you go. And then back to next one down, we got Maverick. Maverick is scheduling this week, so if the dealer has any last allocations, this is really your last week for a hybrid if you have a hybrid out there, because next month's is all EcoBoost scheduling. So they're scheduling for the weeks of 9/19 to 9/26. So if you do have one in there and you have a dealer that has allocations, this is probably with the hybrid last opportunity before your order gets kicked to 23. Mustang, we do have no scheduling this week for Mustang or Mustang Mach-E, even though we have an allocation. So that allocation probably for us will be pushed to next week. Or next month, I mean. Ranger is scheduling this week for the weeks of 9/5 to 10/3. We do have one Ranger allocation left that hasn't been fulfilled yet, and I think we have one previewing. Let's look here. There you go, one previewing retail. So if your order is D97S here at Law MacArthur, then you have a great chance of getting scheduled. It's Cactus Gray Ranger, so there you go. And then the Super Duty is not scheduling this week. Oh, by the way, on the Ranger, 22 final orders for stock orders are due 8/18 by 8/18. So it's coming up in a few days. And then Super Duty is not scheduling this week, and we have used all of our allocations, which is good, being the last week. Transit, that's 23 Transit, is scheduling for the week of 9/26. I don't think we have any. It actually hides in here if we don't have any. Here, let me click that on. There we go. Transit, we don't have any. Transit Connect Van and Wagon, we don't have any. Because Transit Connect Van and Wagon are not scheduling this week. And then none of the Lincolns are scheduling this week. So Lincoln is not doing any scheduling for this last week. So, all right. So again, this is scheduling, and for those of you that are new to the channel and coming over, what scheduling means is if you have an order that you submitted with your dealer that has not been scheduled for production, then it could get scheduled this week if your dealer has allocations and if they're scheduling for that vehicle. So, and scheduling means they're scheduling your order for a date that it's going to be built. So they'll usually, and the dates I gave you was that. I should explain that at the beginning. Should do that each week, but there you go. So if those are still unscheduled orders, these are basically for people that have an unscheduled order that's looking to get scheduled. So there you go. All right, and then dealer news updates. So let's talk about this. One thing I want to come clean on is that I actually, let me move this down a little bit so you don't have to see that cord. All right, so one of the things that I think I've mentioned in the past is that I thought the X plan was available with Farm Bureau in conjunction. It is not. So that is my error, my mistake. So I like to make sure you guys know all the facts and everything's out there. So if you had, if you've come to me and said, hey, can I get my Farm Bureau with my X plan? And I've told you yes, that is my fault. I want to make sure that everybody knows now. If your X plan you're looking to get and you have Farm Bureau, they are not compatible with each other. That is something that I thought it was in the past. I just want to make sure everybody knows that on any order. They are not compatible with each other. Military is, but Farm Bureau is not, just so you know that. All right, 22 Escape Gas and Mustang order banks are closing 8/10. So believe it or not, Escape and Mustang are one of the two last models that have not closed out early for 22. They are closing now on 8/10, but a month later they'll open back up for 23. So welcome James Finch to the Lawn MacArthur crew. So welcome to the membership. So we'll talk a little more. I already talked about earlier, but if you're a new member, you want to make sure you check out the membership tab for those videos that we have out there, especially Sarah's video. All right, so also order bank openings. Just to kind of clarify, last week order banks opened for Ranger. See if I get these right in my top of my head. Ranger, Bronco Sport, and Explorer. And on 8/15, which is next week, the Edge, Expedition, Transit Connect, and I think Mach-E, Mustang Mach-E opens too. I haven't seen a lot of information about it. A lot of people getting excited about it. So at least on the Ford side. So I think Mustang Mach-E as of right now is tentative for that date. So we'll just have to see how that goes, because I think Mustang Mach-E is another one that's getting pushed to next. Some of those orders are going to be pushed to next year. So they might do what Bronco's doing and Maverick. They might extend that back. So I guess we'll have to see on that one. Now I do want to talk about the Bronco letter that went out to Bronco specialists and dealer principals this last week that I did a video on yesterday. So if you did see that video, this might be redundant for you. So I'll try to go a little bit quicker and give you just the basic premise there. They moved originally August 15th was going to be when they were going to be scheduling 23 Broncos for new orders. And because I'm just going to read this word for word. In order to continue prioritizing early order holders, we will not be taking new retail orders. And a retail order, for those that are new, is basically you and me, a customer putting in an order. So just any customer putting in a retail order when the 23 order bank opens. So they are not taking new retail orders when the 23 order bank opens. Prospective customers may still be able to purchase a Bronco from dealer stock orders. We'll talk about that in just a second. Which we anticipate will be available in limited quantities on lower demand trims and options. We will continue to monitor the order bank status throughout the process and will provide an update on the retail order bank opening in quarter 4. Quarter 4 is October, November, December. For those of you that aren't accountants out there. All remaining unscheduled 22 model year orders will be converted to 23 model year and will require verification via the Customer Order Verification Program, COVP. Unconverted reservations will be required to be converted to orders and will also require verification. So just to kind of go through some of that, what we mentioned there, just to kind of clarify things, because this was actually put out on Friday when we weren't supposed to release this. Even though I got information on Friday, I said no, I wasn't supposed to say anything until yesterday. And so that was out there, but nobody really explained it. I don't think they did anyway. So basically I wanted to kind of clarify things. So I did a video yesterday talking about this. So dealer stock orders can be put in for dealers on Broncos. So a lot of people are saying, well, that's not fair. We have all these others that aren't being built. Well, here's why. Again, goes to that parts constraints that we talk about on this YouTube channel a lot, right? Is that when a lot of people that are still waiting for the original 21 orders that have been waiting, those early orders, I look at my orders, they're all Wild Track, Badlands with Sasquatch packages. About all of them are. So, there's only so many of the Sasquatch that they can put together in a given week, right? But they could still make more Broncos if they didn't have so many that needed the packages. Those that have been waiting on a Maverick, you understand this. the luxury packages, they're only, you know, scheduling a certain percentage, right? But they can still make other ones. So they're looking for orders that don't have those luxury packages. Same way with this. So they will allow for some stock dealer orders because most of all of the Badlands or the Big Bends and the bases have already been built because they didn't have any issues. They got pushed in there a little bit earlier, and there's not as many people that want those. So it's available for them to order, to build those. So that's where you're going to see that. And it does say, mention too, in limited quantities on lower demand trims and options. So we're talking a 4-door, Big Ben, cloth top, 2.3, automatic, non-Sasquatch. Basically my Bronco. So that's what you're looking at there. Maybe a base with that same configuration. Probably not 2 doors, not going to be a hard top. You know, it's not going to be the 2.7 because those are in constraints. They're going to leave those for those other customers. So that's a possibility for that. So again, when on September 12th, when they open up the order banks, new retail orders will not be able to be put in. Right now, we don't have a date for that. So if you've been waiting to put in an order, you're going to have to continue to wait. We don't really know when that's going to be. Probably sometime. It could be possibly November. So we'll just have to see, because what they're planning to do is schedule those unscheduled 22 orders. They want to get as many of those built before they take too many more orders. So that's kind of what that's like. So some of the key dates here, they did say dealers have until August 25th to put in those final 22 orders and for people to make changes to their order. So that'd be retail orders making changes as well. And then August 29th, the order guide will be published. That's ahead of the September 12th date. Maverick, could we do that on about all of them? Let's go ahead and get that order guide out. So they're going to actually say that, according to this, they're going to publish the order guide prior to the order banks opening up. Why can't we do that on every one? I don't know. Anyway, and then September 1st to 11th is when Webdo will be closed. They're going to convert those 22 orders over to 23, just like they did last year, from what it sounds like. So, what I want to kind of key on this, and some of you out there probably may not have a Bronco on order, but maybe you have a Maverick on order. I'm thinking this is probably going to be the same system for Maverick. So just bear with me on where I'm going here, because they have the same issue. They have unconverted. They have orders that are still unscheduled for 22 that are going to have to be 23. They told us we're going to put new orders in, but I think they tried to figure out a system where they could do that, and dealers were going to be able to put those orders in. And I think they just finally realized there's really no way to prioritize an order unless Ford pushes that order over and makes it a 23, because they're able to dictate that order date. Whereas when we put a new order in, there's no way for us to change the order date. It has to be put in that date. So there's no way I think we could prioritize a new order, or a 22 order, unless Ford pushes it over. And that's why they did that last year. And I think they've come to the realization that that's what they're going, because that's what they're going to do on the Bronco. I assume they're going to do the same thing on Maverick. But we don't know. Nothing's out yet, so I'm not going to say that that's going to be the way it's going to be for Maverick. That's my gut instinct and what's going to probably happen coming in the future. So be looking for that. They did say September 7th, right in the middle of that time, there will be a playbook published to dealers and about the changeover, about the system, what will happen, what needs to happen. So basically on the 12th, dealers will be able to see those orders that were converted over, and they'll be able to go in there and make changes based on the new order guides that came out a week prior to that, which is kind of nice. Gives people a time to look at those. So hopefully they do the same thing with Maverick. Cross their fingers, right? All right. So, and then it does say end of September 23 model year scheduling begins. So they'll start scheduling those ones that got converted over. Wayne, welcome to the Lawn MacArthur crew. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So anyway, so that's kind of wanted to clarify all that. And also unconverted reservations. So if you still have a reservation for a Bronco out there and you have never converted that over to an order, it's not too late. You can still do that. You will be able to do that September 12th. So when that opens up September 12th, any people that had a reservation out there but never converted it to an order, you can use that same reservation to convert over to an order on September 12th along with the 22 carryovers. So there you go. Went on to that a little bit more than I wanted to because I'm running low on time. Go over the F-150 Lightning real quick. So this was released. I did mention this. So some of the new product updates, just to kind of talk to you about that. Actually, I might save that to the order guide information because we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I might actually have to do that after our topic, looks like. So So key dates here. Yesterday, the order guide was published and came out for the, actually it came out today. This is the 9th. It came out today along with the price list, the build and price. Again, Ford, why can't we do, the build and price is available for the F-150 Lightning. We know why. People have to do orders. They need to be able to see how they're going to configure it. But why can't we do this on all the others? You know, F-150, 22 F-150, what, 2-3 weeks ago now, still does not have the newest build and price on the website yet. None of the Rangers, any of the ones from last week, still are not updated yet. So, but the Lightning is. So you'll be able to see that. So we can see actually go to that screen here, and you can kind of see the what did I do right over here? Here it is. So if you want to find it, it's actually not easy to find. You have to go to, I think you go to all vehicles, because if you go to the Lightning, it'll actually still say 22 on there. But if you go down, so here's all your vehicles. So if you look, Lightning still says 22. But if you continue down here, eventually you get down to, oh, where'd it go? I had it on here. Where did it go? Future vehicles, explore all. Okay. You're going to be difficult for me, aren't you? It was down here under the future vehicles. You have to scroll down. And it's not down there. So, okay. Now I feel like an idiot. Okay. So, let's go to our, oh, there, future vehicles. So I guess go to all vehicles and click on future vehicles, and it's only showing these two here. I'm not sure why the Explorer is not showing. Here, let's refresh. Let's see if it pops up back up. Well, that just popped up. There's Lightning. Maybe if we click on Lightning, we'll find it. Well, I found it earlier. I was playing around to found it. Jim, welcome to the Law MacArthur crew. Appreciate it. A lot of new members tonight. All right. So, well, it shows the Maverick. We wanted the Lightning. Well, I was going to be able to show you, I thought, but I don't know. Let's go back top. All right. Anyway, you got to find it somewhere. If I go to SUVs and crossovers and trucks, and then go explore all vehicles, maybe that's what I did. Might have been what I did there. And vehicle showroom. There you go. So there we go. Now let's uncheck these. And it's not letting me see any. Anyway, I'm wasting a lot of time here. I feel like I'm like on a tick, tick, tick when it comes to getting all these news out to you, because you guys are probably don't want to see all that. So there we go. So now if we go down to future vehicles, it's still not in there. So if I click on the Lightning, what's it do? Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Well, anyway. It's on there somewhere. There's the prices are on there, I swear. Anyway, so then, anyway, the more other information on the Lightning is that tomorrow the Ford Pro commercial customers can order. That is available tomorrow, and then also on the 11th is when Wave 1 invites will go out for people. So here's how this is going to work. Wave 1 will last a couple, well, not quite 2 weeks, 13 days. All of the 22 model year invited Pro Series Extend My Reservation waitlist reservation holders, it's kind of wordy, they're going to get invited first. So basically anybody that got it, that was received an invite last for 22 model year and decided because the Pro was sold out and sold out early, if you wanted a Pro, you could extend your reservation to 23. So the first invites for Wave 1 will be those people that wanted a Pro version. And then the August 24th, Wave 2 will be those for XLT. So everybody that wanted an XLT, when XLT sold out, they extended theirs. They're going to be able to go, and that's when they're going to get their invites. And then mid-September is when we're going to see the rest of them. So Wave 3 invites will be the first 23 model year Wave invitation period that will begin to invite remaining unconverted F-150 Lightning reservation holders. It does say more information will be available in early September for Wave 3 invitation detail, as well as 23 Wave invite ordering plan for remaining unconverted reservation holders. So basically the changeover on this, and something to realize, it says any unscheduled 22 F-150 Lightning customer orders that do not schedule in 22 production will be converted to a 23 order. So just like with Maverick or some of these others where they're not able to schedule them all, I think we have one of those that'll go over as a 23 order. And it says for Ford is targeting the week of August 22nd to begin the 22 to 23 model year carryover process for any remaining unscheduled customer orders. It's important that existing unscheduled 22 F-150 Lightning orders not be canceled. I don't think anybody's going to cancel those, but do not cancel those for dealers that are in there. Don't worry about that. They're going to be converted over just like the others. You'll probably need to make some changes, and then they'll get scheduled. Something else to remember, it says dealers will be able to confirm the list of reservation holders for their dealership in each wave directly prior to each specific wave via the ROVP site. Well, that name sounds familiar. So it says, i.e. example, 23 model year wave 1 invite list will be noted as 2301 in the ROVP reservation report dashboard. So that way you'll know it's a 23 wave 1 and not just a regular 22 wave 1. So those will be showing up on those sites. Also, it says more information. Okay. All right, now I also want to talk about there you go, private offer. So it says any current 22 F-150 Lightning retail customer order that is converted converted to 23 order via the model year carryover process, and 22 invited reservation holders who choose to extend my reservation for an unavailable configuration previously will be eligible for a 23 F-150 Lightning transition private offer. So those that are on the Maverick, you know what this sounds like. Having some errors here. You guys still with me? All right. All right, am I still good to go here? Give me a thumbs up. You all still with me? Looks like I'm going, but I am getting some stream issues over here on YouTube. So we good? Nobody's commented for a while. Somebody give me a thumbs up if we're good here. Robert, I do know you're here, by the way, but that just popped up, so that's where I'm at. So you guys good? All right. So basically what that means is that anybody that had a 22 that gets carried, that doesn't get scheduled and gets converted to 23 will get a private offer for any markup prices. Because I don't know if you saw, but the prices on the F-150 Lightning have gone up substantially. So like $7,000 to $8,000 per trim level. So they've gone up dramatically there. So you're going to see that price increase. So we're good. Okay, I got a thumbs up. That's good. Thanks, guys. It is like a delay. It's like a 10 or 15 second delay from when I actually say it to when you guys actually hear it. So anyway, anybody that had a 22 that gets converted to 23, they'll be price protected. They'll get a private offer actually, so that they'll make that difference. And then anybody that had an extend your invitation invite from 22 will also get a private offer. But anybody that had a reservation that didn't get an invite to order will not be price protected and will have to pay the higher price. So I want to make sure that was clear to everybody on that. Let's see what else. And then also just an impact that they know that it's still going to be an impact for multi-contoured seats with active motion removal will be required on the Platinum, as well as the onboard scales and smart hitch removal. It will be required for the tech package. So which is optional on the Pro, XLT, Lariat 510A, but it is standard on the 511A and Platinum. So I'm kind of happy that I got mine scheduled when I did. So I kind of got lucky there. So anyway, so that's a change to that, and that they will be updating. It'll show you on your window sticker what part you received there. So I'm really way behind, but I like to continue with the news updates before I get to the rest of it. So my timestamps won't be right until I fix them later tonight, but we'll make sure we get them fixed for anybody watching this. But all right, so I want to go over the order guide updates. Ranger did change. I did mention last week that you had to have the remote start on the 300 or 301A on the XLT, so they just added that to the order guide for the Ranger. The 23 Lincoln Nautilus order guide was released the other day, kind of quietly. Not a lot of changes here. One of the changes is the colors. So you'll have a new color for the Lincoln Nautilus is Jewel Sandstone Metallic Premium colorant. First time I've heard them use colorant. But they have deleted the color bronze smoke. So we're seeing that. We saw that with the Bronco Sport as well. But that is deleted. Nothing else new, really. Of course, we saw that with the Explorer. There wasn't a lot of new information either. Now, on the Lightning, what's new for the Lightning? Not a lot of things here. So we got some new colors. Avalanche is a new color for this year for the Lightning. The Azure Gray, Metallic, Tricoat is new. And the discontinued colors for the Lightning, Ice Blue Silver, Atlas Blue, and Smoke Quartz Metallic Tinted Clear Coat, which is beautiful, by the way. I like it. So those are the colors. And then some changes. They did add the fact that the mobile power cord is a standalone option. I would recommend you add it as an option. Hopefully it doesn't. They don't charge you for that. Maybe they will. But anyway, I would make sure you add it because you never know when you might need it. So it's good to have. Like my charger still has not come in from Sunrun. They haven't contacted me. It's been a long time. Not sure when I'm going to find out, but at this point, I've actually used that plug-in into my house instead because I don't have my Pro charger yet. So, and some changes to some packages. There's been a package that was added this year. So let me see if I have some pictures of that. So this package was added. It's the Pro SSV Special Service Vehicle Package. Is added to Pro Fleet only. So if you're Pro Fleet dealer, you can get this package. That is for your, your police edition or your sheriff, different trucks. So you can go electrified, right? And then you can add this package. So actually, we'll go over the package here, show you an interior image there because I'm going to talk about that. So what you're getting with this package is you are getting the red and white task lighting and overhead console. Can't see the overhead console in that image, and then you're also getting for the seats, you're getting police grade heavy duty cloth 40 console 40 with reduced bolsters, and 8-way power driver and manual seat, or manual passenger seat, and then you'll get built-in steel intrusion plates in both the front seat backs. Also, you'll get the universal top tray. So that's the center of the console, as you can see. So it'll look a little different. So that way you can attach different aftermarket equipment in there, your computers and everything and that kind of stuff, whatever they might need there. So pretty cool. So that package is added. And then on the Tow Tech package, which is optional on the Pro XLT Lariat 510A, but is standard on the Lariat 511A and Platinum. Probably said that fast, but because I read it a lot. Basically that now they added Pro Trailer Hitch Assist to that. I don't know exactly what that is yet. I'll probably get more information. Again, I mean, their wording is usually pretty self-explanatory. So Pro Trailer Hitch Assist, I assuming, is just instructions or help to, make sure you have all that. In the past, they've called that the Smart Trailer Tow Connector, I think, and maybe that's the same thing. I'm not sure. And then not to forget that the Smart Hitch as well as onboard scales are not available, will need to be removed, which is kind of cool, actually. I'll have it. Anyway, all right. And then, so that's the order guides, and then build and prices update on the F-150 Lightning 23, which I can't find right now. So hopefully Ford makes it a little bit easier to find it. I had it up. I swear I did. All right. So now we're going to continue, and like I said, I'm way off, so we're 38 minutes in, but that's okay. All right, so is it true this week? So I found something out there, and I didn't see this at first. Thanks to the Maverick Truck Club, they educate me a lot. You guys are out there and finding all this tidbits of information out there. But it was published out there on Maverick Truck Club. Will the 23 Maverick have black appearance package? Will it have the black appearance package? So, and the way we found this is right here on the technical specifications, which was released by Ford Media of all the specs. If you scroll down here, there's a couple things I want to highlight on this, but one down here, what they found was under the wheels. So if you look closely, right under here, there's actually two cool things about this. On the very bottom one down here, it says 18-inch unique machine face ebony alloy or aluminum, says available in black appearance package. So for 23, it looks like we're getting a black appearance package for the 2023 Ford Maverick. You can see there's the wheel that it mentions as optional as part of the trimmer package, which we know we're getting already. It was released. And there's the wheel you get as part of the FX4 off-road package right above that. And then this other optional wheel, 17-inch machine face carbonized gray alloy wheel, available on XL and XLT. So we are also going to be getting the optional wheel for the XL. So XL will not just get the steel wheels, but have an option to upgrade to a nice wheel. So that's nice to have, right? So that's pretty cool. So I think there was something else that I actually was looking at. Now, just trying to look for things here. I'm trying to find things. I'm like, hey, if they found that, maybe there's something else that somebody hasn't found. I looked in this under, clear at the bottom under technology, under the standard and available features, and it mentions down here somewhere, where is that? Oh, flip up. Right there, flip up rear seats, not seat, seats. I don't know if there's anything there or not, but I'm looking for something. So maybe they're going to split that, the 60/40 split bench seat like I wanted. So we'll see. Hoping that's the case there. So anyway, all right. So moving on to more information. So anyway, so that looks like that's a possibility. You'll probably get a black appearance package. Ranger F-150 it usually includes body colored bumpers. Usually, that's usually part of a sport package. They usually have a sport package that gives you body colored bumpers. Body colored, door handles sometimes, or mirror caps, some of those things, and a different wheel for the sport package. And when you go up to the black appearance package, usually blacks out the emblems, so you blacked out Ford emblems on the front and back, on the grill and the tailgate. Usually you get the body colored bumpers taken over from the sport package, and you usually get a black wheel, and sometimes even like in the tailgate itself, which is what probably will happen, is they'll have the blacked out Maverick on the tailgate as well, might be my assumption for this package. Sometimes you'll see a black roof, like on the Mustang you get a black roof, but I don't know if you're going to have that with this one, but never know, because they were doing it with that trimmer package. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to skip over the Ford news and get to today's topic. So tonight's topic is, should you order your vehicle with accessories or have the dealer put them on? So I've actually preached to don't put them on your order. You don't want to hold up your order. Have the dealer put them on. But there is some things to think about on whether or not you want to do that. So if you have it done at the factory, just like here, let's find a vehicle that we can look up the build and price on. 22 Maverick. Let's just go to that, because most of you guys are on here for the Maverick. So if you look on here when you go to build it, so if you decide, hey, I want a tonneau cover, I know I'm going to want to get one, let's go XLT. That's the most popular one. So if you're down here and you're looking at exterior features and you're wanting, and by the way, if you're looking on the build and price, anything under exterior and interior are things you can get from the factory. Any equipment you see under accessories, those cannot be put on your vehicle or sent to your dealership to have the dealership install those from the factory. Accessories are basically what you find on FordAccessories.com. So go in here. Let's say you want to add that bed cover. So right here you can see that pickup bed cover, and this hard trifold is $1160, right? So it's $1160. So that's what it's going to cost. So the dealer, they're going to put it on at the factory for $1160, right? Well, that might be if you go to Ford Accessories, which I actually was going to do that. If you go to FordAccessories.com and you try to find that same thing, see if we can get this pulled up quickly. Here, I even have Maverick up here. And you go to that, you might see that bed cover, where's the, I don't go in here too often, but hopefully the bed's it's pulling up Bronco stuff too. It's funny. All right, so I'm not seeing bed covers. You guys probably do this a lot more than I do. But if you find some of these parts in here, like this in here, the bed divider is $350. That's why what the bed divider is from the factory as well. So the factory is basically putting it on for free. But like on some of those bed covers, the dealer has to put it on. Well, the dealer's not going to do it for free. They're going to want to charge something for it. And if you go to some of these, it might show you an install fee. Just like with this in here, this bed extender, it's showing an install fee of $50. The numbers on here for accessories, those are very low. Now this in here is probably pretty accurate. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, that's pretty easy to install. There's no reason why that can't be done on half an hour of labor, right? Or even less. But some of that stuff, you know, the dealer is going to have to install that, and so they're going to charge an install fee. So that would be the one negative or con to waiting and having the dealer put them on, is that you're going to have an install fee. So if you want splash guards, you want the window deflectors, and you want like the bed cover, you got to remember all those things are things that you know are going to have to pay an install fee for. Some dealers will throw a lot of those in together and we'll do a one install fee. Okay, well, the splash guards and the window deflectors don't take a full half an hour, so we'll just charge you $50. We'll do them both, and you know the bed cover takes 30 minutes or whatever. And so what we've done at Law MacArthur is we have actually honored the Ford accessories website install price, even though that's usually not what our shop is going to charge us for that. Because what usually happens is in most dealerships, you have your sales side and you have your service side. Service is going to charge sales at an internal rate, whatever it might be. It's usually a less rate than what they charge the customer, but they still will charge sales a rate for that and whatever the install is. So if they dictate that it takes, they're going to charge you an hour to install a bed cover, even though it takes 30 minutes, they're going to charge you for an hour at whatever the internal cost is, no matter what that website says on Ford accessories. So I know aftermarket really struggles with Ford accessories because they put an install fee in here that's sometimes not achievable for most of our aftermarket departments because they get charged that from service. But that's how that works. So a lot of times if they can install it themselves in aftermarket, they try to. You know, I practice what I preach here. So I ordered my F-150 Lightning. I ordered it without any floor liners. I ordered it without a spray and liner. I ordered it without a bed cover. And I had all three of those put on when it got here. And so I didn't want any holdup whatsoever on my truck, thinking that it might get pushed just like the others. Even though it's a Lightning, it could still get pushed and not get scheduled. So I didn't want to take that chance. And so I was willing to pay for the install fee for the bed cover. Floor mats didn't cost to do that. And they on theirs, their spray and liner, it's thrown in with their install fee, and everything's thrown in together as part of that. So I did mine afterwards. I know my daughter did her bed cover themselves. So they bought the bed cover, same price, and they just installed it themselves. So that's on another option to do. So you might want to think about that. So if you're one out there that's like, okay, what's, you might, even start thinking about that. We actually have one person in charge of all of our Maverick accessories at the dealership here, Niles Gridley. So he is in charge of all of that. So we have an email set up for him. And for anybody that has an order with us, that we can start considering that and thinking about that when you go to do your order. Because if we say, okay, well, right now, here's what the install fee is going to be for all those accessories you're wanting, but at the factory, it's going to be this. So you take that chance that if you say, okay, I don't want to pay that extra $100 or whatever it costs to have those things installed, I'll just order it from the factory. That's fine as long as you know that could hold up your build. You have to just weigh the pros and cons. Is the $100 fee worth waiting an extra 3 or 4 months? Because that's a possibility. Your order could be overlooked and overlooked and overlooked. We've had several that I've watched, for months get overlooked by another order just like it, but it didn't have that bed cover on it. That was the only difference, and it kept getting overlooked for months. And so, you just have to decide how badly do you want your truck or your vehicle? Are you willing to want the factory to do it to save $100 or whatever? But that's something to consider. So most dealers will charge an install fee. I think we're real flexible with our customers. We'll suck up some of those costs. If we are doing 2 or 3 things, a lot of times we can include that into one install fee instead of charging install for each one of those. We'll just charge one fee and save you some money. So anyway, so hopefully that helps out for that and kind of gives you some information of maybe as you're starting to put these orders in for 23, now that Ranger's open, Bronco Sport's open, Maverick, a lot of people want to add these accessories to their vehicles. I've always learned, in the past, I've always thought, okay, usually a vehicle on the lot doesn't have the bed cover on it, doesn't have, a lot of ours have spray and liners anymore on the trucks, but they may not have some of those different things. And I've just kind of learned to if I'm going to buy one off of our lot or something, that I'm going to have to just add those things afterwards anyway. So I'm used to that. But some customers, they're ready. They want to take the delivery of their vehicle with all the accessories already done. Anyway, just want to throw that out as I thought it'd be a good topic for this week, and something that I can share for aftermarket for you guys. So let's open it up to questions. And by the way, if you're coming into the Midwest Maverick meetup, I'll be having I'll have my F-150 out there and the Lightning with the cooler. I'll have ice in the front area, and I'll have some G Fuels. So if you want to come get one, today's flavor is Phaseberry. So Phaseberry is the flavor for this week. I actually have had that before. One of my favorite flavors. Probably tastes the most like a regular, Monster or something that you probably expect, but we'll have that flavor too. So there's our 4 flavors that we'll have there, and I actually ordered a couple more cases, so we'll hopefully have plenty for everybody. But it will be first come first serve, so you want to make sure you find me, come over, get a G Fuel. Might even give you a free koozie with it. We'll see. Any members, we can bring your koozies with you. Anyway, all right, throw those questions in there. Don't forget to put the @ Lon MacArthur before it. And I'm just going to start from right now, so, and not go back, if that's okay. Just so if you threw a question in there earlier, Sarah might have had a chance to answer you, as well as some of the other members in there too. So Sarah, thanks for helping me out there. And she's been, she's been helping me so much. I don't know if you guys know, but we're pretty caught up on all the emails. I think we're at 8 right now, and those 8 are ones that she doesn't know the answers to. And she's letting me answer those, and so I'll need to email those people tonight or tomorrow. But she's been so much. She's learned so much by being on a live stream and been helping out, learning from me by doing the videos and editing the videos for me and everything. So she's a wealth of information. And she's been really taking on all the membership perks and everything, so that I can produce these videos, especially right now when we're so busy with that. So thanks, Sarah, for that. All right, Robert said. Says, great, Lon MacArthur, great. The Maverick name on back will be in black. Yeah, well, I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming at this point, but I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. That just makes a lot of sense to me, because they do that on all the other ones, on all the trucks, so they should. All right, Joel said, can I use both Farm Bureau and First Responder rebate on vehicle purchases? That's a good question. Let me look. Let's pull a vehicle up. I don't know the answer, and I can get it now. Why not, right? So we'll go to Locator and just pull up a vehicle in stock. They could possibly get both, and let's just find out. We got a ton of F-150s. Let's just throw those in there. All right, so let me pull up Smart Vincent on this F-150 we have in stock. Got to re-log in every window. Ford makes you log in. Okay. Put in our zip code real quick. All right, bam, and hit eligible. Oh, you guys might want to see this. Okay, all right. So going out through here, and by the way, when you go to, tell your dealer if you're wanting to get that the protect date. This is where that's done. Once they put in your VIN number, then you go in there and you go into customer information, and you would actually select. Actually, this one doesn't do it because it wasn't an ordered vehicle. So, but never mind. So it's not on that one. So, but right up there in the customer information and the dates and everything is where you put that protect date. So moving down. So let's just pick First Responder and Farm Bureau. Well, there's a First Responder. There's also military. Should we see which are compatible with which? There's even a college student. Let's just put them all in. Let's say you're a college student and you're in the military and you're a First Responder on the weekends. I don't know. Anyway, and your Farm Bureau. See what's compatible. Okay, so you do have to pick one of the bundles. So it looks like none of them are compatible with each other. So as you can see there, they're all individual ones. So you have to pick one of those. So it does look like that Farm Bureau is not compatible with college or with military or with first responders. So you have to pick one or the other there. So there you go. That answers that question. All right. Sarah said, Lon MacArthur. Will says, hi, Papa. Hi, Will. He's probably not watching anymore. He's high energy. He's ready to move on. Don't give him much time. All right. Clarence said, is it true that if you hook up a trailer, you lose some or all of the Copilot 360? No. Don't believe so. Now you might, the blind spot, I don't know about the Maverick, but I know F-150 and a lot of other vehicles that your Bliss will also monitor the blind spot of your trailer if you have that checked. I'm not sure on the Maverick if that's true or not, if it monitors the blind spot of the trailer. So that might be the only thing. Lane keeping should still work. Your pre-collision assist will still work. Rear view camera, well, I guess you wouldn't be, you'd back up, you'd see your trailer, I guess, and technically, but but all those should work. But that would be the only thing I can think of is maybe lane keeping will not monitor the trailer on a Maverick. On other vehicles, F-150, it monitors the blind spot of the trailer. Expedition, it does as well. A lot of vehicles, it does monitor the blind spot of the trailer as well if you have that checked and activated. All right, David, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Man, that's quite a few members tonight. Good to see. All right. And let's see here. I scrolled past a bunch of questions, I think. So let me go try to go back up here and try not to mention that. All right, Jim said, bought the splash guards and tailgate strut from Ford Accessories and had the dealer install them at delivery. They charged for the install, but I got the points on my Ford Pass account. Yeah, one thing we did find out on those struts, by the way, is that it can be done a lot cheaper at the factory because they'll probably put those on before they put the taillights on, because some of you don't realize, but actually on those struts from Aftermarket told me, you actually have to take off the taillights to be able to bolt in that strut into the side of the bed, and then they have to put the taillight back on. So it does take a little bit longer, and for that's why there's install fees a little bit more expensive on the struts. I thought it'd be something easy to just bolt on. You can do it yourself, but evidently, yeah, you have to. There are some parameters there. You do have to take those taillights out on the Maverick. So, and then splash guards, probably, you know, what are they? I don't know, charging probably half hour labor or something for those. All right. So James said the question is, they say they are prioritizing 22 going to 23, but what happens if you have a tiny dealer with little allocations? Then your order is going to be prioritized. So if they, your order would still be prioritized. So I think they're going to do it like they're doing with the Bronco. If you saw that part of the video earlier, or the live stream where I talked about how they're doing that, is they're going to convert for 10 days, they're going to convert all the 22s to 23s. So they'll be in that system as a higher date, right? So that date will be locked in before any new orders can be taken. So assuming they're going to do the same thing with Maverick, and so they shouldn't have any issues there. So that date's going to be before that. So like right now, like a lot of our Bronco orders that went from 21 to 22, if we look, a lot of the first, if we have any Badlands or Wild Tracks, it's always those ones that are the oldest that are get scheduled. It's not the ones that are down further. So they are going by those receipt dates and those order dates per se. So they are being prioritized. So they're going to make sure that those are getting that priority. So not only will they probably be a priority 2, but they'll also have an earlier date, and both of those in conjunction will make that order be looked at first before anything else. All right, DB says, will hybrid 22 Maverick orders in priority 2 now be scheduled? Not necessarily. Priority 2 doesn't necessarily mean it was scheduled. So a lot of people don't know this, and I kind of figured this out several months ago. Is how an order gets a priority 2 status is, it means it was actually allocated. It was given an allocation to the dealer for that order. So basically at some point, like this month, we had a bunch of our orders that were priority 10, and they gave us a list. Here's the orders that gained you allocations for this month, and it gave us a lot of number. So those orders gave us allocations, but if we already had some that were priority 2 before that, then they were selected first. So those orders may then get a priority 2, but that just makes them be looked at next. Because so usually they get a priority 2 when those orders was the ones that awarded the dealership allocations for that month, and that's usually how they get a priority 2, which also dictates that they're the oldest orders that have already been given an allocation for it. So the reason they wouldn't be chosen as an allocation, so let's say at the beginning of a model year where everything's a 10, right? And maybe those first 5 orders, right, earned allocations for the dealership, right? The first 5, they'll be given a priority 2. But if they have constraint items on there, like a tonneau cover or like a splash guard, like we talked about, that order is going to be overlooked, and an order that's maybe a 10 will get scheduled instead of that 2, and then that 2 will stay in there and still be looked at first the next month, right? And try to be scheduled if they have no hold on the parts, right? So that's how that works. So just because you're a 2 doesn't mean you're going to get scheduled for 22. And for next month, the only thing you're looking for on the Maverick, they're all going to be EcoBoost. So hopefully you guys got that from last week when we discussed that. And really, at this point, if you have a 22 hybrid, if you don't get scheduled this week, you're probably not going to get scheduled. So just keep that in mind. The sun's coming down over here on this shade. Let's see if it blocks my face. I'm gonna go move it. I'll give Kyle a bad time. All right. Diamond BKR said, any guesses on what financing may be available for rollover Broncos? Thanks. Well, we haven't seen any special rates on Broncos yet, so I wouldn't see that it's probably going to start now. So I wouldn't see any special financing rates for those. So I know my Bronco, I didn't get any kind of special rates for mine, and I don't think we'll probably see any, coming forward for those. Those probably will not be included. Usually those high demand vehicles like that, they won't see them. Same reason why earlier in the month they had special incentives going, and Maverick EcoBoost was included and not the hybrid. And they said, why not the hybrid? Well, the higher demand, the less they have to give an incentive for, because those people, if they want it, they don't need to. So like, you don't need to incentivize a Raptor or a GT500 or a Bronco because it's in such high demand. That's usually how that works there. So anyway. Any updates on Trimmer Mav? Yep, we talked about it last week. Was that last week, guys? I think it was. Yeah, that'll be coming to 23 at the launch of 23 as well. It shouldn't be a late availability item. Should be at the launch. And, just keep in mind on the trimmers, like the Trimmer F-150, it will probably be in lower numbers. So if you have a trimmer on there, it could cause it to be a constraint. Just keep that in mind. If you do that, so early orders, you're probably going to be good. And probably those 22s, will probably be we'll get them before some of the others. But I know on F-150, if you have a trimmer, they were only producing those at about 2% constraint. 2% of them were scheduled as trimmers, so you're probably going to see that happen on those as well. So keep that in mind. Natalie said, when will they be starting to send scheduling emails for the 23 Rangers? Let's see. Actually, let me pull that. Great question. Let me just find the page here from this month. Oh, hey, went right to it. My luck. All right, so let's see. Ranger, it looks like is this next month will be startup, October startup. So they'll start scheduling 23 Rangers in the month of August, which will start next week probably. Man, that's lights. I don't need to go get that. So I need to go shut that here in a second. All right, so. All right, so Zach said, do you know how many of the Maverick orders are at priority of 2, and if any are hybrids? There's a lot of them. For us, I don't have my orders up in front of me here. Let's just kind of look. Actually, I think I had some. All right, so the month for hybrid orders, all of ours are priority 2 up through, and I actually haven't updated this recently, up through October. So all of our October and earlier orders are all priority 2s. Right now, our November hybrid orders are still priority 10. So that tells you something. So those haven't earned us allocations, just so you have that. So, all right, give me 1 second. I'm going to put this on my intro screen just for a second while I go shut that shade. All right, I'm back. Sorry, that was like getting in my eyes there. So anyway, all right, next question. Let's see. The 305 Holler says, do you have any idea why Maverick XL hybrids are still getting pushed back? I think about all the hybrids are getting pushed back. So if you had, you've seen an order move back from this month or this week or, next week and getting pushed back, about all of them are hybrids. I have seen a couple hybrids get moved up, which is good. And so I don't think it's just the XLs. I believe it's many of the different hybrids, but most of them are hybrids. So there you go. I'm a little winded, a little out of shape. I don't run much anymore. All right. All right, so Christy said, my MAV order is EcoBoost Lariat with Lux package. I've been moved to Priority 2. Does really mean anything? So Priority 2 does mean that that order is going to be looked at before a Priority 10. And usually that's why you see a lot of your Priority 2s are early orders, and so they'll be looked at first. Now, I will tell you this, based on your order, EcoBoost Lariat is not a problem, but that luxury package. So last week I talked about what's going to be scheduled for the month of August, and they're scheduling EcoBoost only. So 4,000 EcoBoost, no hybrids, and they're not doing any luxury packages. So yours having a luxury package will probably not get scheduled and will probably get pushed to 23. That's just, unless it's already been scheduled. You might check and see, because Ford doesn't let you know that it's been scheduled until like a week or two before your scheduled date. So you might look and call Ford or call your dealer and see if you have a VIN number and see if it's been scheduled, because yours might be scheduled, but if it's not scheduled, I'm afraid to tell you, you probably won't get scheduled and you'll probably get pushed to 23. All right. All right. That one got pushed past. Remember, there it goes. All right. Know you passed the info on for the Lightning, but just for your info, if you go to Electrified, then go to the Lightning tab. All right, let's try this. I appreciate. I knew somebody out. I'm sure there's other people, because I wasn't looking at the comments, because I'm like, I know they're telling me what, where to go. Where are we at? Okay, so if we go to, what'd you say? Let's look this up again. So it says for Lightning info, if you go to Electrified, then go to Lightning tab. So Electrified, and then go to Lightning. So not the build and price, but the Lightning, maybe? Then the build and price tab. Yes? There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So I'm sure others knew that too, but thank you for letting me know that. There you go. So there's your build and price for 23 Lightning, and that's how you get to it. So you would go to Electrified and then click on the vehicle, not the build and price from there. So go into the vehicle itself and then go and click on the picture of the vehicle and then click on the build and price at the top. Right there. There you go. All right. Thank you. It's driving me nuts. I know I got to it before the other day earlier. All right. So Tim, Satellite has been waiting for Ford to supply a Maverick windshield that's cracked. When will Ford make them? I don't know. Windshield that has cracked. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure how long. I mean, that's the issue right now. Like, people that I've seen some wrecks recently for Mavericks, and it's hard to see that, because like I've been driving around my Lightning lately, and I'm like, don't wreck. So I'm like, I'm not going to text and drive. I'm not going to even answer a phone call while I'm driving right now, because I want to be very cautious and very defensive in my vehicle, because I know right now there are some of the F-150 parts that are available and accessible, but like if somebody hits my tailgate, that's a specific tailgate for the Lightning. That grill is specific to the Lightning, and I'm going to be without my vehicle for a long time if I get in a wreck. So, and same way with the Maverick right now. We're probably seeing some part issues there and getting those out, but so I really don't know how long it'll take, and I'm not really on that side of the industry or the dealership and that business part, so I'm not really sure on the time frame there. But I did see an F1 Maverick out here that was wrecked one day, and it's not one day. It was out there for at least a couple months. So some of the members, when I do my member walk around the lot, they probably saw it several weeks in a row in our body shop, because it does take a little while on some of those. All right. So Kevin, for Sambos, Kevin Sampson says for a hybrid Lariat with Lux and 360 of the two plans, which will give me the best deal, Farm Bureau or the X plan on the 23 X plan. Do you have to wait for the updated 23 pricing to determine? Not necessarily, because there's still markup. Probably going to have pretty similar markup this year as last year. And I will tell you, like, you're looking at Lariat. There's a lot more markup on a Lariat, and there's more than $500 worth of markup. So you're better off doing the X plan than taking the Farm Bureau in that case. So you can always look at that both ways. A good dealership will show you both ways and let you pick which way is best for you. So. All right, Tim Davis said, "Hi Tim, I received my VIN and build week for next week, 8/15. Wondering when I expect the build day notification. Thanks." You should have received it by now. Probably any time now. You might have been moved back. If you haven't received it, you should be receiving it this week. Because if it's being built next week, you usually receive that the week before. So it should be this week. If you don't get it by Friday, you might look, it might have gotten pushed back. All right, William said, "Why can't you just put a 7-pin on the hybrid Maverick?" I assume you're talking about the wiring, and I'm not sure. I know Bronco as well. So one of the things on the Bronco, they had said the tow package needs to be pulled off, and one of the disadvantages of that, or the cons of that, was that you couldn't get the 7-pin wiring, only the 4-pin. I think it has to do with the wiring and such, and something that has to be put on the vehicle for the 7-pin. And somebody explained this. I can't remember where I found that. I should have jotted that down. But there was something in about the 7-pin that needs to be done at the factory where you can't do that aftermarket. Usually aftermarket, you can only do the 4-pin wiring, and probably for that reason. So you get the 7-pin wiring if you go to the tow package, right? The 4K tow package on the Maverick, but on the hybrid, you can't. You'll get a 4-pin wiring. So yeah, so has something to do with the wiring from the factory. I don't know, but. And usually you want I think you want the 7-pin for certain sizes of trailers, and probably if you only have a 2K of towing there, you probably aren't going to need a 7-pin. Most trailers that are that light will not probably have a 7-pin wiring hookup, I would think, but you can get an adapter. You can get a 4-pin to 7-pin adapter. I did have one of those on one of my vehicles, so. All right, and I think, that's what it is. I think the 7-pin controls a trailer brake, and so that's why you see that 7-pin on the 4K tow package, because you get the trailer brake controller, and the 7-pin controls a trailer brake controller, whereas the 4-pin won't be able to do that, control any kind of trailer brake controller. I think that's the difference, but most of your lighter trailers don't need the trailer brake controller. All right, Daniel said, "Hey Tim, picking up my Maverick next Tuesday, so I won't have it for event, but will be sure to get a pic from my dealer." Cool. Finally, after 11 months. Oh, that's well, it's good it's coming. So next Tuesday, that'd be great. So yeah, send us a picture. So, and you made it sound like you're coming, so I expect to see you. So make sure you find me. So yeah, anybody's coming to the event, make sure you seek me out there and find me. Definitely want to make sure I meet each and every one of you if I can. All right, Chris said, "Thank you for the great info you shared every week. I think you mentioned that CCD and smart scales are not available on the Lightning. Is CCD smart scales still available on the F-150? The smart scales and the, what did they call it? I have my notes here. A lot of notes here on the Lightning. It was onboard scales and a smart hitch removal. So yeah, CCD is usually continuous control dampening suspension, so that shouldn't be any different. But the smart hitch removal, so is what the onboard scales and smart hitch are the two things that won't be on there. So all right, Mars said, "Any updates on the Maverick Tremor?" No more than what we already have last week. We got all that information. Check out the video I did last week. It's on our YouTube channel for the Maverick Tremor. I kind of included all the equipment that's going to be standard on that. It's going to be available on the XLT or the Lariat trim as a package. So it's not its own trim. So it'll be a package and come available with an optional appearance package as well to be added to it. So. All right, Christian said, someone posted today that their dealer was already informed on the amount of their private offer. for being pushed from 22 to 23 on the Maverick. Is that possible? We haven't been told anything yet, so we have not been given any information. In fact, they said that we wouldn't see that information until all the scheduling for August is done. So probably going to be a couple more weeks yet. So I'm not sure, unless they're probably just assuming what it'll be based on price increases. It's probably what they're going from. I mean, I can make some assumptions, but it won't be concrete and it won't be exact until we get that information. So, all right. Steven said so that a priority 2 means your dealer has an allocation. If you're given a priority 2, that means your dealer received an allocation because of your order at some point. So that's what that means. So not that your allocation. So like I explained it earlier, and I don't know if this comment may have come later after I explained that, but yeah. So let's say you have 5 orders at the beginning of the month, and those 5 orders received at dealership allocations. They would be given a priority 2 so that they could schedule those 5 first. But if for some reason your order had something on there that could not be scheduled for, then they might have pulled a priority 10 order up into that spot, and then you would still have that priority 2 the next month per se, right? And so at that point, you would then get a you would earn their dealer allocation. So if there's an order out there that's a priority 2, that means that your dealership received an allocation based on your order. If your order did not get selected, it was probably because at that time they weren't able to pull your order because of some sort of constraint item or another order before them that maybe earned an allocation that finally was able to get scheduled, and yours was still behind theirs. Hopefully that makes some sense. Will the topper slow down the order for the Maverick? Yes, probably will. Actually, the topper is not something you can order from the factory. So if you look, go back to that. So as we talked about earlier, so anything under these accessories is not something that you can get from the factory. So if I look at the Maverick, done this a couple times, you can tell. Get in here. So if you go down to accessories, see these toppers down here? These are under accessories. Anything you see under accessories, those are not something you can put on your build from the factory. So they will all be something that you order from your Ford parts department, and they will put it on your vehicle for you. So that is not anything under accessories sections. Just so you guys know, when you're building those out and looking to get orders, we've had some customers give me a build and included some of those accessories, and I go to put those into the WebDo. I'm not able to configure those. I'm not able to add those. So anything under accessories are not factory accessories or DIOs that are given to the dealership to install. They are ones that you'll have to get through your aftermarket or through Ford accessories. I wish Ford wouldn't put those on there just because it's confusing. So a lot of my complete guides, if you watched any of my more recent ones, I go through these optional equipment up here. Let me show you this. I go through the optional equipment up here, and I let you know, okay, splash guards is actually an accessory that you can get from the factory, and they will be put on your vehicle. Whereas you look at this, the toolbox swing gate, those are DIOs. The dealer would install those. So that means they would be shipped. The factory will ship it to the dealer. When the vehicle comes in, the dealer would install that. Tonneau covers are put on at the factory. That's a factory installed option. Bed extender is a factory installed option. Bed tray liner is, spray and bed liner is, hard drop in. The bed mat is also done at the factory. The protective fender film, that's done at the factory. Again, all these things, they take time, right? So that's why they're constrained. So, it takes time to put those protective film hood and fenders on, all these things that people want. But then manual rear sliding window is a factory installed option. The hitch is as well. You would make sure that's get done at the factory. Although some of these can be done at the dealer, like wheel lock kit, that's, I believe, is a DIO, or it's listed under accessories. So what'll happen is that kit will be put in the vehicle. It'll be shipped to you. When it gets there, the dealer will take that kit out, and they'll take out one of your nuts from each of your wheels and replace them with the lockable ones. So that's and in a sense, it's kind of a dealer installed option. Whereas engine block heater is something that you really can't get on unless you do it at the factory. So I go through that in my videos, my complete guide videos that kind of explain that on all my vehicles. So you might want to check those out when we get those for each of the models you're interested in. But just to kind of clarify some of that there. All right. Need a drink. All right, Jeff said, Tim, what are the chances of a big price hike on the 23 Maverick? One of the things Ford likes to do is they'll do a price increase throughout the model year, usually in a job 2. They try not to from model year to model year to be able to say model year to model year to be able to say that they didn't increase the price. We did see it with the Lightning, right? So it did happen with the Lightning, big increase. A lot of that's because of the battery cost more than probably anything. So we will see that, but like right now on the website, if you look, I'm going back to my screen a lot. So if you're watching this if you're listening to the podcast, I'm getting on the screen a lot here. You will see that these models do start at a higher price here. And they said, well, that's so that people, if wanting to order a dealer, EcoBoost stock order, they'll know that's what the price is. But I got a feeling that's going to be our price for next year. I really have a big feeling that it's going to start at $20,009 this year, and that these all prices are going to be a little bit higher. But that's just my take on it. But I don't know for sure. It's hard to tell, but usually it's pretty close to what it ended with at the end of the year, just so that they can say that they didn't increase much. All right, EMGT 302 said, Ford chat advised that my Bronco order be unscheduled clean. Does that mean anything, and will I likely be scheduled for 22 model year? So what that means is that it's an unscheduled order, and clean means that there's no constraints or there's no balance out items on your order. So like we had one, I noticed we have one F-150 order that says it's balanced out, and I was like, what's balanced out on it? So I clicked on it and looked to see what was balanced out on the order, and it was a smoke quartz. So they're not gonna. They want you to change the color on that particular F-150 because that was a balanced out item. So as long as it says clean, you're good. That means your order is something that they can select to build with no issues there. Doesn't mean you don't have constraint items. It just means that you don't have anything that's unbuildable, right? That they can't make. Like on the F-150, they're out of the smoke quartz color, so it's been balanced out. So that color, well, that order will not get selected at all unless we change the color on it. So, all right, Susan said, what is the quickest way to get a hybrid built? XL. XL, base XLT, that would be the best way. So go XLT hybrid. We call it, in our end of it, we call it an XLT quit. So that means that you don't add any packages to it. So I would go that route. If you're wanting to get as quick as possible and get it scheduled without any hiccups, go XLT or XL hybrid with nothing else. Quit. So if you want like the sliding rear window, moonroof isn't an issue usually. The outlets, any of the factory installed options are usually not a problem. Any of those bed accessories, those are the ones that will hold up your build, plus those two packages. Unless they make some changes this year. If they take some things off of the luxury package, that might change some things. And then we might be able to say convenience package, so hopefully they do like they did with the Bronco Sport, where they took they noticed in 21 there was an issue with the moonroof because all their packages on the different trims included a moonroof. And so then they got a constraint with the moonroof, right? Then there was an issue. So in 22, what did they do? They renamed those packages. Instead of saying the Badlands package, it was called now the premium package without the moonroof. But then if you want the moonroof, you have to get the premium package. So that just enabled it for people that didn't care about the moonroof but cared about the package to get it. So hopefully they do that this year for Maverick, and they take those bed accessories and make it a bed utility package or something like that. So, or you can make it whatever name you want to. Don't take my names. Take whatever you want. They probably are already figuring that all out. So at this point, it's too late to beg for them, right? All right. Suresh, hopefully I said that right. Hi Tim, great show. Accessories installed at factory is cheaper than dealer installed. Is that correct? Yes. So that was my point, is that getting them from the factory will be cheaper for you because the factory is going to charge you for the part and not for the labor. If you get it at the dealer, it will probably cost you more money. That's true. So I guess you have to just weigh the benefits. So do I want to wait and wait 2-3 months, and it really is taking that long to get some of those scheduled, to get them on there and not cost me any extra, or am I willing to pay an extra $100 to get it 3 months faster? So anyway, and sometimes Ford will tell you take them off, we will not schedule at all unless you take some of these items off. Now, they didn't really do that with the Maverick. They pretty much said you're going to be at liberty of getting it delayed if you don't. But all right. I scrolled down and I think I skipped through a bunch of questions here. Is it better to wait till Thursday or Friday to call Ford to see if I get a VIN? Friday. So Friday is usually the best time there. Okay. All right. Got through these. All right. Ragnar, is that right? Bring my screen back up. All right, said 7-pin requires the trailer hitch modular, which is used to interconnect with the trailer brake controller. Without the tow package, you don't get the modular. Okay, thank you. So that's a little bit better explanation than what I did. Thank you very much. But it does have to do with the trailer brake controller, it sounds like. So yes, so thank you. So I could remember what it was, but yeah, that's it. All right, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to copy that so that I'll remember it for later. I'm going to steal that word for word. All right. Scooby said, Tim, did you receive my email? Yes. Do you have any news for me? Your dealer should have contacted you. Oh, actually, I did have one that I got back from the brand manager, and I couldn't remember. I had 2 people that emailed me, and I wasn't sure if it's yours. You might tell me if you're in Colorado. If you're in Colorado, then I have some bad news for you. But if you're not, so let me know. Drop it down in the comments if you're from Colorado, because I had 2 contact me. One was within our region, so I was able to hand that off to my Ford rep, and the other was not in our region, which was Colorado. If yours is in Colorado, I actually have some bad news for you. So let me know down below, because I don't want to give you bad news if yours isn't in Colorado. But if you're in our region, your dealer should have contacted you. So that's the kind of the 2 stories. I had 2 people contact me about that, about where the dealer's not really helping them out much. So I tried to help out the best I could. All right. Oh, and then Ragnar said, added to that, trailer tow modular connects with the vehicle's safety systems, i.e. Copilot 360 with the trailer brake controller. A brake controller can be added without the modular, just doesn't integrate. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because you can add usually the trailer brake controller that's, on the dash. I've seen that in a lot of our trade-ins and such. So, all right. Adele Real said Ford reserved Lightning last year, but no 22 invite. Just checking page and states I have an XLT reservation. When made reservation, had no option for trim. Any input? Yeah, I think they just did that on all of them. So, and I think you might be able to go into your reservation and select what trim you're really wanting to go for. But yeah, so, but other than that, I think early on you actually didn't, when you put your reservation, I know when I did mine, I put the reservation in that you didn't pick a trim. You just put in that you wanted a reservation at that point. And then later, I think Ford just put in XLT on everybody's. But I don't know if you can go in now to your reservation and edit and update that to what trim you're looking for. But a lot of times you can do too is let your dealer know what trim you're looking for. So when they're looking at those, if they get to a point where they run out of Pro and XLT configurations, and that's what you're wanting, they want to know that, because if so, then they're going to pass your order up to go to one that maybe they can build for somebody. Instead of having to give an allocation and then send out an invite, and then you can't, and you extend yours and then send out another invite. It could take months and months at that pace. So they actually like to know what people want ahead of time and put it into our system, our backend, the program, the ROVP website for Lightning. And that way we can put in everybody's trim. So then the Ford knows, hey, let's go ahead and give this invite to this person because we're out of pros. We can't make any more. That person wants a pro. So you need to make sure you can get with your dealership when those come up. And we usually do like the next 5 or 6. We always make sure we have a mixture of all of them. So that way when we get an invite, it's going to go to someone on our list and not have to go to someone that couldn't and then go to the next person. And it can take several months that way, doing it that way. So this way we can get those invites given out to the correct people. Is it true that they will be building the Maverick EcoBoost until November 7th? Yes, I believe that is true. All right. James said, will the MAV rollovers that get prioritized still be locked behind allocations for the dealer? So a small dealer with low allocations might still mean you get scheduled behind larger. Correct. well, not necessarily behind larger. So like within our region, we have bigger dealerships, we have smaller dealerships. You know, for us, we have a lot of many more orders, right? And we're probably number one or two in our region in a way of sales, probably number one, but I think Granger's catching us because of allocations. But so each dealership has a certain amount of orders. Well, a larger dealership is going to receive more. So a smaller dealership that only has a handful of orders, and those orders are later, might not earn an allocation. But then they will start earning those allocations, you know, in a certain increment. So if I have 100 orders and there's a dealership that has 10, you know, I might receive 10 allocations while they receive one. Well, I have 10 times the orders. So that's why I would receive 10 times the allocations. And that's the premise, and that's how that's going to be done. That's going to be each region gets divvied out their allocations. However, I don't know how Ford comes up with that information, but from in the past, well, usually what happens, in fact, it's in here. Let me actually share that with you. So they put it in the slide every week, and we always skim over it because they've gone over it before. Get through all the results from the month before. Actually, I think it's on the page I was right on. There we go. So it says regional allocation is COVP plus regional pools, right? So, and then it says the dealer allocation is based on 60% is the factor of how many sales they have, and 40% is the availability factor. So, so basically it says, and the regional pooling includes COVP orders, marketing events and auto shows, market rep actions, and any other actions that sales will ultimately come from the region. So, and I don't understand exactly what those numbers and what some of those are going to do and how they get that, but the regional gets allocations based on how many COVP orders they have and some of those other things going on within their region that they could maybe get a few more, you know, whatever's going on. So let's say there's an auto show going on in Michigan next month. Well, they may get a bunch of allocations next month based on that. So that kind of thing. Now, dealer allocations, it says 60% is sales factor, and then the other 40% is availability factor. So it basically says dealers are 12 share of region. So it's 60% times the dealers are 12 share of region times the regional production guide. So that's part of the sales part of it. And the availability part is 40% times the dealer's desired availability, share of the region, less the dealer's total availability. So, and what they're looking at is, okay, how many stock do we have of that particular model? How many are in transit? How many are in the system that are scheduling? And then plus, it says BTS, which I don't know what that stands for. So, built to stock maybe. Anyway, so they look at that. So every month they take our numbers. Here's a... Going into this a little more than I planned, and I'll be honest, until Maverick happened, I wasn't even involved in this. So I've only learned this for like the last year because I'm not a sales manager, general manager, or an ordering manager. And so I started going into the meetings so that I could learn more to share it with you guys out there. And so this is all pretty fresh for me as well. So they look at sales availability in here. So they look at stock, like how many we have currently in stock, how many are in transit, which means they've left the factory and they're in transit, how many are in the system. And that means if they've been scheduled for production date already. So they're not unscheduled anymore. And then the balance to schedule, that's what BTS is. So balance to schedule. So if they have any that carried over from the previous month that didn't get scheduled, like this month we looked at that, and there's a Mustang Mach-E that we will not look like it's scheduled. That one will get kicked over. So they'll add that one to it as well. And then they'll add all those together to give us the current availability. And that's where 40% of the allocations received for that model will be based on that information, right? And also the share of our region of our allocations. So that'll be considered. And the other part is the sales factor. So in here, it shows you, they go through and show us in the last 4 months how many we have sold, right? Or what we sold in these months, I think last year. So in this case, this is a Mustang. It's August, September, October, November equals total sales. So in this case, it was 6. So we had 17 current available, 6 is sales, and then they put in the desired stock, which was 3, and that gave us a desired availability of 9. And so then they gave us 7 allocations. So, that's what was offered to us. We did request 5 more because we needed 12 to fulfill our orders and everything we had. So we actually requested for more. We don't always get it, but we can always try to guess for more. So that's kind of how, it wasn't very clear, but that's the information I know to share to you about allocation. So hopefully, I don't know if that helped or not. So, all right. Jim said, Tim, thank you for that info on the topper. No problem. William said, can you check, Tim, can I add a sliding window to my order L20S? If so, let's do it. So here's the deal on that. So this is actually good. So if I go in, if I look at your order, so let me go on that. So remember, right, your order is already scheduled. Is that right? Let's look. And I'm way behind on my comments, so I apologize for that. But I like to try to answer every question I can. Some of them take a little more time to answer than others. Okay, L20S. All right, so yeah, yours is scheduled to the week, right? So it's scheduled for the week of 8/29. We're far enough in advance that they might take that change. So I can go in here and try to make that change. And they may or may not accept it. So basically, they've scheduled your order based on your configuration at this point. Color changes are easy. They'll usually accept all those. But like right now, it's still working. It's not wanting me to let me do it yet. But if I want to try to add it, I can add it and submit it. And then I'll get a notification that says that your amendment has been sent for them to review. And then usually a day or two later, I'll get either yes, they did accept it, or they didn't. So it says, Tim, can I add a sliding window to my order? It says, if so, let's do it. So if this stops, I'll try to do that for you, and then we'll see if they accept it. But that's usually how that works. All right, I'm going to continue down to my questions while that's thinking about that. All right, so Mike said, put to marks in front of your question. Yes. Yeah, it makes it easier because I'm not stopping at every one of these questions. I'm just going through and looking for those questions. And I think it just flew by a bunch of questions. There you go. All right. So Claire said, hi, if you have a 22 order, it gets moved to a 23. You get a private offer, price protection. But what if you want to order an option that wasn't available in 22? Do you just pay the difference? Yes. So so what's going to happen is you're going to get a private offer based on last year. So let's say you were looking at an XLT quit, like I mentioned earlier, right? And let's say the price went up $1,000 from last year to this year. So they're going to probably give you a private offer for $1,000. Let's say you want to get that trimmer package this year. So that trimmer package is an extra whatever. You're going to still pay whatever you are. You're just going to get an extra, in a sense, rebate. That'll take, when your vehicle comes in, they'll take that off the amount of what you have, no matter what you ordered. If that makes sense. All right. Ash said, hey, Tim, is scheduled unclean a term that, or what does that mean? I haven't received a VIN yet, though. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Scheduled unclean. Is that what you said? Is scheduled unclean a term? Don't see that. Normally it'll say scheduled to week. I haven't seen one that says scheduled unclean, but it's been a while. Actually, I think I did see some that were that way. We did see early on, like when at one point you could get the tow package with the front wheel drive on the EcoBoost, and they allowed you to order it, and then they changed that and said they couldn't do it. Well, then all those orders became unclean at that point because that needed to be changed to the order, and it was, if they'd already been scheduled, it would have said scheduled and then unclean. So that is something I've seen out there, but it's been a while. That was back in August, September, I believe, when I did see those. So it's been a long time. So there's probably something on your order that was available at one time when it was scheduled, but now is not available. So that order won't be looked at. They're calling it a dirty order. And so you need to get with your dealer to find out what on that order made it an unclean order, and get that changed and adjusted at the factory level. So they'll have to do is the dealer will have to contact the Ford rep. The rep will then have to contact the factory, the scheduler, and they will have to take care of that. All right, so Mark said, any news on the wife's excursion? I don't know anything about the Excursion. So I'm sorry, I'm clueless on that. I don't know. You can't get a new Excursion. No, I'm sure that's not what you're talking about. But I don't know. I don't know if you have your vehicle in for service or not, but I don't know about that. There is a Tim in service. Tim Oldie. He's in service. So maybe he's the one that you probably need to contact there on that one. So I don't know. All right. All right. So they said, since I have had a VIN for months, will my Maverick Lariat have the luxury package? Yeah, whatever. When you were scheduled, however your order was when it was scheduled, that's how it will be built. It will be built that way. Now, unless you get like this customer we talked about earlier, where they got an unclean for some reason, said, okay, we just can't build it now. At this point, they might, request, but they'll let you know ahead of time. They won't just not build it that way. So, you have a VIN, it'll be built that way. So, it'll have the luxury package. So when we say that they're not scheduling luxury packages next month, we mean unscheduled orders. So if you're already scheduled, it'll be built the way you have it scheduled. They just won't schedule any new orders that way. So you know that. All right, I'm in Iowa. No one has contacted me. Oh, you're in Iowa. Okay, so yes. So the Ford rep did pass yours on to the other Ford rep within their region, within your region, with whatever Ford rep. So our Ford rep wasn't, ours is a zone rep within the KC region. She passed it on to another zone rep that's in that region. They should have contacted you by now. If they haven't, I'm a little disappointed. So I'll try to reach back out about that and find out and let her know didn't get anything. I might actually reach out to the brand manager, since he helped me with the one in Colorado. I might try to help them. So still need to find out who that person was. Somebody had messaged me and I cannot find their email now. And so there's got some bad news on that one. So I don't know if they're watching the live stream or not, but yeah, theirs did not get COVP approval. So that's probably why the dealer is dodging their calls, is because they know they messed up. But on yours, I don't know yet. So we'll have to find out. All right, Clarence said, trailer question again. Am I likely to lose traffic, cross traffic alert if I have any? Well, yeah, it won't work because the sensors are blocked by the trailer. So your cross traffic alert, as you're backing up that trailer, it won't work. So yeah, so yep, just have to be a little more cautious when you're backing up a trailer. Unless, I don't know. Yeah, because on the trailer, it monitors a blind spot, but not cross traffic, because those sensors are on the sides, and so they can't go back behind the trailer to see what's going on. So probably too far back. So backing up that trailer, you won't have the cross traffic alert. Steven said, your wife's excursion. Oh, expedition. Let's not talk about that. Okay, wife's expedition. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm with you now. So, yeah, wife's expedition. Yeah, no updates for 3 weeks. Still not an update today. That's what I do every day, is I check it. No updates. In fact, the wife has called Ford, because I told her, I said, I'm not getting anything with our zone manager. They say, and as long as it's in the date window, they can't do anything, which is funny because they just keep moving the date window to their, so that it doesn't look bad on them. So as soon as we get it to the end of that window, which is that weekly, which is done 4 weeks in advance, right? That window, which starts today and ends the 16th, until it's in that, as long as it's in that window, they're saying, well, we haven't hit the end of that, so there's nothing we can look into yet. Well, the problem is that we got so my wife says, well, I called Ford and Ford customer support, because I actually think you get more done that way as a customer calling Ford support than you get from us as a dealership calling. So you should try that instead of having your dealer do it. So I had her do that. So why don't you call? And they said, well, they need my VIN number. And I said, okay. So I sent her the email I had. And what's funny is the dates on that showed June dates. And I'm like, okay, it keeps getting moved back. So I know with you guys, you're seeing that same thing. It's happening to everyone, even me. So now we're 4 months in from when, over 4 months now. Now we're into, it was what? March 29th is when it was built. So now we're getting into 9-month territory here. Wait, can't do my math. 9 minus 3, 6-month territory here. Oh, so it's been, I've been using the phrasing 4 months because I'm thinking April. So April, May, June, July, we're getting into August. We're getting into that 4 to 5 month territory now for that. So, but I do have seen some people, we have a Bronco that's been sitting and in Michigan since January. So I guess I can't complain because there's somebody that's worse out there at our dealership. And we also do have a Maverick that's been in Kansas City since April, and we just can't get anything accomplished with it either. So, yeah. All right. Any more questions? Did I lose it? Because I'm caught up on questions. Hey, only an hour and 45 minutes. I caught up. So, yeah. So, anyway, we do have an expedition that came in for a customer that ordered one, and it's almost identical build to ours. Of course, we've had I think we've had 6 that have been delivered here that were ordered after mine, or that were built after mine and have actually shown up and are still sitting there. So there's one that actually showed up, an XLT Max here. The only difference is the color, and it has, instead of bench seat, it has the bucket seats, which we're actually thinking could be a positive thing. So we're waiting to see if the customer's taking it. If the customer decides they don't want it, then we might consider. They said that I could probably buy that one, and then they would see if we can get an exception on our name match, because our name match can get it's getting out of hand, because we've had a lot of people that have ordered when it came in or decided they don't want it. So that's, I don't know. I'm a little nervous for that. Ford needs to do this. So I don't know. Ford's probably not watching. We're an hour and 45 minutes in now. They're probably not watching. But here's the deal, Ford. If you have customers that have okay, I understand if it takes a while to get scheduled, but once that vehicle is built, if it takes you 3 months, 4 months to get that vehicle to the dealership, there should be, you should get to be able to have an exception for the name match. Like, here's a situation. I'm a legitimate customer. My wife has been waiting. We ordered in November. You guys, Maverick people, you're in the same boat. I understand that. So I get where you're coming from. That's where I'm coming from here is, ours was built in March. It was completely built. March 29th, it was built, just missing a microchip. Waited 2 months to get a microchip finally, when all these other vehicles are being built with microchips. Needless to say, finally at the end of May got the microchip. So it's been sitting since the end of May. So all of June, all of July, we're into August. So 2 months it's been sitting, and other cars are passing it by, and it's just been sitting. There should be an exception for that. If a vehicle is built and it takes you more than a certain amount of days, there should be an exception for that, because here we are, there's an expedition that's come in, and there's some stock ones that we're supposed to actually receive before mine will probably show up. And as a customer, I can say, that'll work for me. I'll just take that one instead. That was real similar to the one that I ordered for myself. I'll just take that one. Well, if I take that one, then when mine comes in, because it will come in eventually, then there's a name match that hurts the dealership. There should be an exception for that. Just saying. There should be a certain amount of time, once that vehicle is built and the wheels are on the ground, it is built, put together, and the email has gone out to the customer, it is on the ground, there should be an exception of how long that's acceptable for that to show up. And after that time period, if it's after that, they should be able to, the dealer should be able to have an exception for that vehicle not showing up and being able to not have to take that vehicle. So in this case, if somebody doesn't take this vehicle and the dealership lets me, we're going to buy this other one. It's actually in the second color choice that we had, and then ours will be available when it comes in. So, and that'll be a name match that will probably count against us as a dealership. So hopefully our numbers are really good. But that's if the dealership lets me. I don't know, because right now we're getting pretty tight on that, because somebody doesn't take it, it's really going to hurt us, hurt allocations. If we lose a whole month of allocations, that's not good. So Ford, you got to fix that system. The name match needs to be fixed, or you need to speed up getting those vehicles out that are actually built. Anyway. Yep, I'm on the soapbox. You're right, Mark. And you guys are in the same boat. The Maverick that's been sitting since April in Kansas City, there's no reason for that. What is going on? So you have to get that to those customers. So it's not just me, it's other customers that are doing it. We got a Bronco sitting in Michigan since January, and nobody can do anything about it. It's just sitting there. there should be an exception for those for name matches. So it's hurting dealerships, it's hurting customers. For one, are frustrated and they're ready to go find something, right? And then for two, it's hurting dealers because that customer ends up getting something because they waited 6 months and the vehicle never came in. I got to get something to drive, you know. Yeah, so only way to get around the name match issue is to require a deposit that is non-refundable once a VIN is assigned. Sucks for the customer, but helps for you to keep a COVP requirement. Yes. All I'm saying is, what I'm saying, and I agree with that, is that we have a lot of customers that have, you know, it's like, okay, ours, we'll get it scheduled and we'll call them, hey, your vehicle got scheduled. Well, I don't want it. I got something. I'm like, oh, I wish you would have told us. We would have just canceled your order so somebody else could have had one and we won't have a name match problem, right? So again, how long it takes to even get one scheduled too should be a factor as well. If you ordered a vehicle, all you people with Mavericks, and we're seeing that happen a lot with the Maverick customers, is that you ordered, you know, June, July, August, September now, you know, it's going to be a year. There's got to be a timeline that could be an acceptable exception for that happening if one gets scheduled, right? So yeah, anyway. There needs to be some tweaking to that name match rule. That's all I'm saying. Something needs to be done. All right. So Tim Davis, did I miss your question? Once again, thanks for the time, effort, and you devote to bring us the latest Maverick info. Will not be getting my Mav in time for the meetup. Okay, yeah. Actually, I think I did read that earlier. All right, Tim, could you ask the chat room who might be coming this weekend? Yeah, who's coming this weekend? Can I do a poll or something? I think I can. Can I do it? Can I create a poll? No? I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Nope. It just went away. Oh, wait. I think I just created a poll that has nothing in it. Oh, there we go. Somebody did it for me. All right, who's coming? Let's see. There's the poll. Did it pop up for you guys? I don't know what it looks like. First time. I don't know if I did that or not. I think I just did a poll, and I don't know if I did that. It says I did it. Anyway, there you go. 8 votes. So who? Yes or no? Who's coming? Wow, we got a lot of yeses. So if you're not coming, put in no, just so we can get to see how many. Does this tell me my results somehow, or just the percentage? Can I see that? I don't know. My screen's a little delayed. Anyway, so there we go. No, I don't want to end the poll. Let's click back over here. Nope, don't want to do that. Anyway, there we go. So, yeah. So who else coming? We got, well, I guess we have like 300 people in here. So we should get a lot of responses, right? Everybody respond. Oh, we got 50%. So according to my streaming thing over here, it says we have like 300 people in here. So if I had a Maverick, I might be there. I hear it. There'll be some pretty cool, of course, everybody, if you can bring your Maverick, great. If you can't, come anyway. So, and we actually have been advertising on TV, here, local TV, be within the state, about a commercial about it, to come see other Mavericks and such here. And so I'm going to try to get as many of our sales guys as we can. I think our aftermarket manager will have his there. Some of you members have seen his. Sarah's will be here as well. She's got an XLT with a Lux package, EcoBoost, all-wheel drive, so you can see hers with the 4K tow package, aftermarket bed cover. I'll have my Lightning there. And if I can find another driver, I might have my Bronco there as well. So we'll have to see if I can get someone to drop it off. So maybe we'll have it there as well. So we'll see. So anyway, now it's going the other way. No, 60%. But we are going to do this yearly. So if you can't go this year, hopefully everybody has their Maverick by next year, and we can have a big Maverick group, and people are going, what are all these trucks that I've never seen before doing? Right? Agree with you there, Hector. So I'm kind of reading his comments there and different people's comments. So, all right. Does VIN equal scheduled? Yes, it does. If you get a VIN, then because you get scheduled and then it's given a VIN. And so that way you'll know. So that's why I say if you're scheduled, it will be built as that year, because that VIN is dedicated to that vehicle with that equipment for that year. The VIN number includes, you know, where it's built, what factory it's built in. It includes what the configuration is, that it's a Maverick all-wheel drive or Maverick front-wheel drive. It shows you what engine it's got on it within that VIN code, what gear ratio and that kind of stuff, and then dedicated serial number and the year it was built as well. So yeah, if it has a VIN number, it is, if it's scheduled, I'll have a VIN number, definitely. So if you have a VIN, you have a scheduled date. You just may not have received that email from Ford yet, but you will have that date. So, all right, we done voting? Everybody voted? Did everybody vote? Everybody vote? Should I end it? I've never done one of these polls before. I'll have to do this every week. What do you guys think about that? And then just put that question in there, right? Of course, people watching this are going to go like, what are you guys talking about? Well, I'm going to end the poll, maybe. There we go. There's the click. So it's a little delayed on there as well, I think. In the poll. Right. So give us our results. 62 votes. So, all right, who wants to do the math on that one? 20 people? 30%? 38? 40%? What's the math? 40? I don't know. Somebody do the math for me, because, you know, I don't do well with math live. On a live stream. All right. All right. That's still a good number, though. So, and some of you are counting for just yourself, and hopefully you bring a spouse or a friend or something right with you. So, all right. So, be a lot of fun. I think Ridgeview is going to be here. I mean, that alone is a reason to come to the event. Ridgeview is going to be there. You guys are here every week and chatting with him, so he'll be there, right? I think he said he's coming. Ridgeview, you coming? Oh. All right. Mike did the math. 24. Yeah, I accidentally, Zach, I meant to. I clicked on the little poll down there, and I didn't think it clicked. And so I clicked it again, and by clicking again, I actually published the poll. So that was I was click happy, and so that's why it didn't have any description. So yeah, so we'll try a poll next. We'll try it. We'll get into that. Every week, got to make the live stream just a little bit more. Add some things. I've added a background, and courtesy of one of our new friends there. And okay, by the way, Mike or William, I haven't been able to get this to work here. I might have to restart this and try that real quick. So, all right. Anything else? Any other questions? You guys don't have questions? I do have some news. You guys don't. I mean, you know, you guys can leave whenever you want, I guess, right? But I did have some news articles that I wanted to share. Here, let me try to get this ordered up first. And then I got a couple of news articles. Most of the news articles that Ford Authority put out there, I like to cover the Ford Authority news articles because I think they do a good job. And I really just follow them and do most of their news articles. And I do some others, but they're usually the ones that I follow. And most of theirs this week had to do with scheduling and stuff like that I'd already covered in the live stream or last week's. I noticed that there's a lot of things that Ford Authority put out there that I covered the week before. So maybe they're getting information from me. I don't know. Probably not. But they're probably getting from the same source that I get my information from. So, all right, L20S, right? And I think you said sliding rear window, right? William, you still here? Maybe. All right, saving Kansas trip to pick up Bronco. Cool. Hopefully, is that with us? That'd be awesome. All right. Hopefully, you get it pretty soon, right? All right, so that's there. Now, can I edit? There we go. William, was it a... See, William, I need you to post in here. I know there's a delay here. You okay with me adding the sliding rear window or trying? Where's that at? Here it is. Manual slide rear window. I'll wait for his okay before I click it. So, all right. I have see a Bronco flag. Where the Maverick flag? Yeah, you know what? As soon as Ford will send me Maverick stuff, they sent me a shirt from early on from doing the videos, so that'd be nice. Yeah. So yes, I did. All right. So you said sliding rear window. You want me to add that? Going once, going twice. Yes, no. All right, I'll wait. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Yes. Okay. I'm going to submit. And this is really how easy it is. Like if you want to make a change to your order, like I've been telling people, we're going to put those orders in quickly on that day, because we can throw in an order and we can easily make changes. It is not difficult at all. So, okay. So I just made that change, and it gives me a little explanation part or a over here, and it says schedule order amendment submitted for processing. So we'll check back next week. Remind me. And we'll check back and we'll look at it and we'll see if they accepted the change. So we'll find out. So if I remember to look at it tomorrow, or probably it might be not be tomorrow, it might be the next day. It usually takes about 24 full hours. We'll look at it and we'll just see if they accepted it. Go from there. So something like that. I don't think it's a constraint item. Probably won't be an issue. Colors are usually not an issue at all. They'll always allow you to make a change on the color, but sometimes equipment depends on. Now, if it was like, if I wanted to try it, it wouldn't have let me add it anyway because it's been closed out. But let's say I don't want to, something is a constraint like a tonneau cover, it probably wouldn't let me add the tonneau cover because it was pulled because of the way it was built. And that if it's a constraint item, it probably wouldn't let you. But sliding rear window is not a constraint item, so hopefully they accept that. So we'll just have to find out. So, and Lonnie's your sales person, so I'll make sure I let him know as well. So. All right. And oh yeah, I was going to cover some news. So here's a couple articles that I found. See if this is still working. There we go. All right. So I got these ads. I move those ads. All right. So it says Ford brand once again ranks second for non-luxury shoppers. Well, look what's there. They use a picture of a Expedition. That's nice. All right. It says the Ford brand has long held the second spot among non-luxury shoppers on Kelley Blue Book's quarterly brand watch report, behind Toyota, which was largely held on to first place for the past 4 years. However, Ford briefly took that top spot from Toyota in quarter 4 21 before giving it back the first quarter of this year. Now, KBB has released the quarter 2 2022 brand watch report. And nothing has changed in terms of particular order either. So there you go. Kind of shows you where it was quarter 1 versus quarter 2. And you can see actually Toyota extended a percent. Ford lost a percent, but still held on that second spot. And then you can see where some of those others rank. Honda even gained a percent. Hyundai gained a couple. Kia did. Nissan. Jeep lost 2, which is interesting. Looks like Dodge lost 1. Mazda gained 1. Who else lost? Somebody else must have lost a percent. Oh, no. Anyway, probably the ones that lost or dropped off there. But anyway, so there you go. So, and that's when I say watch, that's, that basically they've been doing searches. So what's the most popular brands to have searches done on KBB is what they're doing for research and that kind of thing. And the other article, and there's, by the way, there's a link to this article if you want to read the rest of it. I didn't want to bore you. And then the other one is about the 2023 Ford F-150 Lightning launches with carryover Sync 4 infotainment. So here's the deal on this article. Is that Ford Authority reported in February of 21 that future Blue Oval models would utilize the Android-based infotainment system, which I'm an Android user. I'm okay with that. Starting next year after Ford and Google signed a 6-year partnership agreement. So they were saying that the 23 Lightning was supposed to be slated to be one of the first vehicles to receive this new infotainment system. But at the launch of the information for 23, it is still the sync-based system and not Android-based system. And then I actually showed you a picture of the interior of that new special service vehicle interior like I showed earlier. They got that from Ford Media. So anyway, so they kind of explained that it's still going to be Sync 4 for 23, and so they evidently haven't come to an agreement yet, or they haven't included it yet into a vehicle. But the Lightning was supposed to be the first one to get this, and it looks like it will not be receiving it yet. So anyway, so the article kind of talks a little bit about that. So there you go. Any other questions as we wrap up here? See you Friday night, special dinner at Mall MacArthur Ford. Yes, for members. Yep. So we have a special dinner at Friday night for our members. So anyway. All right. So Ken said, have you heard of EcoBoost engines having antifreeze leaking into the cylinders? I have not heard that. I watched videos showing the problem. Is the Maverick EcoBoost different? The Maverick EcoBoost is a 2.0. It's the same one they put in the Bronco Sport Badlands, as well as they've been having in the Fusions, as well as the other Escape 2.0 that's available, as well as some other 2.0s. So I'm not sure. So it could be the same engine, but I don't know if they're having any issues with that. But I hadn't heard anything. But all right. So any other questions? None? All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. It's been 2 hours now. So again, thank you very much for, allowing me to kind of go on and on about the different news updates and everything. So I appreciate that. And thanks for all the questions. Allow me to something to kind of talk about and get on my soapbox at some time. So appreciate that. So thanks everybody for watching. If you have any good news moments, good dealership that you know of that's been doing really well for you or whatever, somewhere else in the country, let's get these dealership recognized here on the live stream. Go ahead and send those to the questions for Tim down there and put good good news content. So put that in the subject. And then if you have any great ideas for subjects for our topics that you'd like to see maybe addressed, don't forget to drop those over there to the FordVideoGuy at Gmail as well, and so that we can be kind of addressing some of your guys' topics and what you guys would like to see on the live stream as well. And again, always thank Sarah, Ridgeview, Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Make sure you check out his channel. He has a great channel. And thank you to my members as well that are in here every week and giving us bouncing around and helping people out and giving me all these kudos and high fives and such. So I appreciate all of that. And of course, thank you to all the subscribers that are in here as well. And if you're not subscribed, hit the red subscribe button so you can stay subscribed. And hit the notification bell so you can get notified. We're going to have a lot of content getting pushed out to you guys as much as we can this week and next week. And if you're coming to the event Saturday, can't wait to see you. Make sure you stop by and you say hi. I'll be there, until people start leaving. So I'll be there for a while. Plan to be there all day. That's going to be my day. For members, your member video will probably be Friday night. I think I told you guys about that. So we'll be doing that. So again, thanks everybody for joining me. Until next week. We'll see you later. Have a good night, everybody.